All right, guys, welcome. And today I'm going to cover off pricing and the power of pricing. And as you can see from the title of my topic, it's a quote that I always use: "The profit is in the price." So welcome to our fortnightly client group meeting. So I'll get straight into it. And today's workshop will obviously cover today's training, and then we'll have an open client session where we discuss how we can implement the topic, which is pricing today, review your fortnight, work out what the priority projects are, and help you progress with your plan, and also plan for the next couple of weeks as well. All right, so as I said in my intro before we got started, most people on this call probably already are across the importance of pricing. It's something I've covered off with you guys, but I thought I'd record this and have it there for others to watch as needed. All right, so the profit is in the price. So let's go through this quickly. This is a graph which I'm not sure if you've all seen, or if you have seen it, it's probably been a little while. And it helps explain how important pricing is and how pricing affects margin so drastically. So in this example, you'll see here that the base case here is a business that is charging, let's say, $100 for its products or service. It has $80 worth of costs, so that will be a combination of cost of sales, so product costs, but also the cost of running the business as well, so general expenses, and it's left with $20 worth of profit. Okay, so fairly straightforward. Now, in this example, there's two scenarios. One is where we discount the price by 10%, and one is where we increase price by 10%. In this second column here, this is where the business has discounted its price by 10%. So it's, instead of charging $100, it's now charging $90. And what you can see is that costs obviously stay the same. And that price drop basically just erodes margin and erodes your profit. So your profit drops from $20 down to $10. So it actually halves your profit by reducing price by 10% in this example. And likewise, if this business increases its price from $100 to $110, so it increases it by 10%, its profit goes from $20 to $30. Okay, so that's a 50% increase in its profit. All right, so it's just a very simple graphical way to show the power of pricing and why it's so important to get your pricing right. And it is something which I obviously cover with a lot of my clients. And I know we've had a lot of discussions about this already, and we've been through exercises where people have consciously reviewed their pricing and improved it. So that's it simply in mathematical terms. Obviously, to get your price right and to be able to increase your price, it means that you need to position your business in the right way. You need to understand what competitors are doing, what their pricing strategy is, and use marketing, use improvements in your branding, the way you come across and present yourself to improve the options and the opportunity to improve pricing and increase pricing. Now, next slide is one that you've probably seen as well. I'm going to go through a table that shows the pitfalls of discounting and also how price increase can be implemented in your business. So the first one is discounting, and you may have seen this table before. It basically shows that if your business is making a gross profit margin of, let's say, 40%, if you discount your price by 10%, it means you need to find 33% more sales volume to replace the profits that you've lost. Okay, so this table shows how that works for different levels of gross margin and also different levels of pricing, of discounting. Okay, so it's just a powerful example that shows how much you've got to win, how much more business you need to win if you do discount your price. And similarly, on the flip side, a lot of businesses are reluctant to increase price because they're worried that their customers will leave them. But through experience, and I'm sure we'll have a discussion about this soon as well, through experience, I've seen that there's virtually no customers that leave when you do increase your price, as long as it's reasonable. And those that do leave are the problem customers anyway, the ones that complain about price or complain about other things. So this table here shows that if your gross profit margin is, let's say, 40%, and you increase price by 10%, you can actually lose 20% of your volume, your sales volume, and still be in the same profit position. Okay, and I've never seen that happen. I've never seen someone lose that much business. So what it shows is that the price increase always is beneficial for the business. Now, it's a lot easier to increase price when you've got a B2C type of business, when you're dealing directly with consumers. If you're in the construction industry, for example, and you're dealing with builders, it is a lot more price competitive. So I agree that that can be tricky for businesses in that construction contracting type market. But it is still something worthwhile looking at. And I've helped other businesses that are in that contracting game to find better customers that are willing to pay more. These are commercial building customers that are willing to pay more because they appreciate quality, they appreciate service, they know how much more they'll save by having a better contractor and making their job easier. Okay, so let's have a quick discussion. I don't know if there's much to discuss because I'm sure we're all across this sort of thing, but I'll just unmute you guys. Nothing new there for you, I'm sure. Now, Sam and Nick, I know you're the only guys on here at the moment because it's a small group. We're still getting into the year. Nick, I know we've talked about pricing fairly recently. You've gone through an exercise to increase prices, and I don't think you've seen any impact really, any negative impact.
No, not at all. I don't think we've increased our prices we increased our margins on products to boost the price there. We've increased the labour prices, and I'm just still quoting just as I've always done and still winning work. So no effects at all.
Yeah. And Sam, I know you've actually gone through quite a big review of your pricing for your websites and for your online marketing services.
Yep, sure have.
probably early days for you because you've only just recently implemented it and you're still ramping up your marketing to generate that pipeline.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you've seen it with other customers as well, I'm sure, where you've worked with people that have increased prices and haven't really seen much of an impact. Well, the only impact, I suppose, is making more money.
Yeah, but like you said, usually the impact is that you lose the clients that you don't want anyway. You lose the paying clients normally.
Yeah.
So
I know Lee, who's normally on this call. He obviously went through a price increase last year.
Yep.
When I caught up with him and Angela last week, there was a few clients that they realised they needed to increase prices on, but because when they did the review, they realised they actually hadn't been charging them for some of the products they were supplying them, some of the services. So they fixed that first, and then now they're going to increase prices from the 1st of February. And for the ones that they have increased prices for last year, there was no change. Everyone, no one was surprised. If anything, they were surprised why they hadn't increased prices earlier because they hadn't done it for so long, and it's just added to their bottom line.
Yep.
So, any other discussions there? I think you've both seen that table in the past as well, and that graph. So there's probably nothing, nothing new there.
Not really. Like I've not really done much in the way of discounting, but the very odd couple of people that have sort of asked, and you sort of can make a few adjustments here or there to get them a better price. But not that it probably does affect the profit, but it's not significant. Whereas like we can make an adjustment here or there on the quote to get the price that they need, not necessarily just discounting for the sake of it. So
I think the way you guys do it is that you relook at the scope of work that you do, and you can maybe reduce some of the plants or change some of the material to make it more affordable.
Yeah. I think
you were going to say, Lauren?
I was just going to say, Nick usually comes back and says, "Look, I always give a fair price. There's nothing really to discount."
Yeah.
It's not like we've just added, margins for the sake of it.
And half the time, even if you drop a few things off the quote to get them a better price at the end, by the end of the job, they've added them back on anyway. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they want the end result. So at the end of the
That's
day,
it.
they end up paying for it eventually. So
That's it. If you're providing the value, there's usually no quarrel there.
And once I think they see the work and the quality of work and all that, they kind of go, oh, look, yeah, it's worth the extra bit to finish it off. So.
All right, very good. I might just stop the recording there.